everybody, Jesse Fresco here, aka Hardcore Bloodshot, here giving my top 3 picks right now going on in the comics world. I figured I'd come in for my first time, and Patrick was...
Welcome to the show, Jesse!
Thank you!
Woo!
So, I figured I'd come in and give my picks for stuff. I got a little bit of everything, so may as well go ahead and just get it started. First one, Patrick, you mind handing that to me?
Oh, shit. Sorry.
It's your show.
Bad producer. Bad producer.
Right, so first one I got up, Gideon Falls by Jeff Lemire, artwork by Andrea Sorrentino. This is kind of like Twin Peaks in a lot of ways, and I'm a huge David Lynch fan and Twin Peaks fan. It feels very much like that. It's very twisted, very weird. Essentially, there's 2 separate storylines going on at the same time, one in New York City and another one in a small town called Gideon Falls. And it's definitely a very weird, very creepy world. The artwork by Andrea Sorrentino is very, very twisted. It feels like a David Fincher film at sometimes, like Seven or Fight Club. Very, very weird, very creepy. It's hard to really describe the plot without giving a lot of stuff away, but it's definitely one that I definitely am looking forward to. And my buddy Dinesh Shamdasani recently signed a deal to produce a television show based on this. So there is a TV show in the works, and if you want to see where it's going to go, definitely check this one out. This is one that I highly encourage you to read. And after that, next one I have is my boy Judge Dredd Under Siege. This is the IDW stuff from Judge Dredd. This is not 2000 AD, but it feels very similar. In a lot of ways, this feels a lot like the Dredd film that came out back in 2012. It's basically kind of the same plot. Dredd essentially gets called in to investigate a block that's under siege and finds out that one of the officers is under attack by mutants inside the complex, and they get locked inside, and now it's all just a full-on war. So they're outnumbered, outgunned, have to fight their way all the way to the top and take out the bad guy. Basically the same premise. The book is written by, I believe it is a Mark Russell. I never heard of this writer, but it definitely is very cool.
Oh, I think he was the Flintstones guy.
Flintstones?
That cool, and it won a lot of awards, though. It actually wasn't what you thought.
Writing Judge Dredd.
I might be wrong, but I think that's him, though. I interviewed him at DC and DC.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if that's the case, then it definitely is a very weird shift from Flintstones to Judge Dredd.
It wasn't Flintstones that you thought either, though. I heard he's got some really, he's a dope, he's one of the big up-and-coming guys.
Oh, well, there you go. This is definitely a good place to start then.
Yep.
The artwork is also very, very unique. It's a little bit more cartoony than I'd like to see with Judge Dredd. It's a little more over the top. I don't particularly like that usually with Judge Dredd. I like it more gritty and grounded. But in this case, it's definitely a story that I like. Not deep, not complex, but a lot of fun. It's really, really funny at times. So definitely check this one out if you get a chance. And the last one, of course, I have to represent Valiant, Harbinger Wars. We are in the middle of Harbinger Wars 2, which is continuing off from several storylines that continued with Harbinger Renegade and several other narratives going on at the same time, as well as Secret Weapons. This book, unfortunately, it's not really a favorite of mine, but I wanted to just bring it up because I think that it's worth talking about. What happened was that when the company got bought out in January of this year, there were significant writer shakeups. Certain people left, and books got smashed together. Originally, this was supposed to be 4 issues from 2 separate writers. So 4 issues will be written by Eric Heiserer, 4 issues will be written by Matt Kindt. Unfortunately, Heiserer left the company during the buyout, and now Matt Kindt has taken over all writing duties. So if this book feels a bit like a jumbled mess, it's because it is. It feels like 2 separate books that have been slammed together into one because it is. Unfortunately, it doesn't really flow very well. It's very, very shaky. The plotting is a little bit messy. The artwork by Tomas Giorello, while it is fantastic, doesn't seem like it fits the tone very well. It should be a bigger, grander event. Unfortunately, it just has this kind of dirty feeling to it. And also, there's significant plot holes that kind of bother me. Most notably the fact that Livewire is kind of a mass murderer at this point, shutting down the entire United States power grid. If you really think about that, what about people in hospitals, on life support? What about sanitary regulations? What about clean water?
What about my commute?
There you go. You've shut down the entire U.S. power grid, essentially stranding people, all because you were angry that a couple of your people were going to be killed. It's a little bit extreme. I don't see Livewire as being a very redeemable character at this point, which basically means that half of the story doesn't really have any sympathy for me. So while I do like Valiant, I do really love their stuff, and I want to see them get back on track. This is not really a favorite of mine, but if you are a Valiant fan and you really need to find everything, this is definitely a good place to start. Third one is coming out very soon. It'll be a 6-issue storyline. Hopefully, after this happens, we can all get back to basics and get everything right again. But as it is, die-hard fans only. So that's my picks for the week. Gideon Falls, Judge Dredd Under Siege, Harbinger Wars 2.
Welcome to the show, Jesse.
Yes!
Woo-hoo!
Great job.